1. Russia, Kamchatka, and Kuril Islands. On July 30th, 2025, a massive magnitude 8.8 earthquake struck offshore, about 119 kilometers southeast of Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky. The quake triggered a tsunami that reached 3 to 5 meters high in areas like Severokurilsk, flooding coastal towns, fish processing plants, and port facilities. Drone footage revealed nearly the entire shoreline submerged under seawater. Fortunately, due to effective early warning systems, no major casualties were reported, although some injuries occurred during rushed evacuations. In a rare dual disaster, Mount Klyuchevskoy, one of Russia's most active volcanoes, erupted shortly after the earthquake, compounding the state of emergency in the region. Authorities declared a disaster zone across parts of Kamchatka and the northern Kurils, deploying emergency crews for ongoing evacuation and damage assessment. Today, rescue efforts continue, and aftershocks are still being monitored. Residents have been urged to avoid coastal areas as cleanup and recovery begin under challenging conditions. To Japan, the earthquake triggered a widespread tsunami warning across Japan's Pacific coastline. Waves reached up to 1.3 meters, prompting one of the largest coastal evacuations in Japanese history, with over 2 million people relocated from areas at risk, including regions near the Fukushima nuclear plant. Although the tsunami itself caused minimal flooding, one fatality occurred due to panic during evacuation. Roads were congested, and shelters quickly filled as people fled from vulnerable zones. The Japan Meteorological Agency downgraded the tsunami threat within hours, but many cities maintained an alert status overnight, thanks to years of disaster preparedness. Japan's infrastructure and communities responded swiftly, minimizing damage. Today, normal life is gradually resuming, though emergency drills and shoreline inspections continue as a precaution. The incident reignited public discussions about long-term tsunami risk and coastal safety. 3. Hawaii, USA. Tsunami waves reaching up to 1.7 meters, 5.5 feet, were recorded in places like Kauai and Hilo, across the Hawaiian Islands. Initial warnings urged residents to evacuate low-lying areas. Airports such as Honolulu International temporarily suspended operations. Beaches were cleared, and boat traffic was halted. While no major damage or fatalities were reported, the tsunami caused widespread disruption, particularly in the tourism sector. Some cruise ships pulled away from port abruptly, leaving dozens of passengers stranded. Notably, Oprah Winfrey opened private roads on Maui to assist with local evacuations, drawing praise from both residents and international media. Authorities downgraded the warning to an advisory by afternoon, but strong ocean currents and minor coastal flooding persisted into the next day. Now, Hawaiian communities are reviewing evacuation routes and preparedness plans to better respond to future events of this scale. 4. U.S. West Coast, California, Oregon, Alaska. On the mainland U.S., the tsunami's impact was felt most along the northern California coast, where waves up to 1 meter hit Crescent City. In Oregon and Washington, the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center issued advisories for potential wave activity. Some coastal residents were urged to move to higher ground, though official evacuations were limited. In Alaska, particularly the Aleutian Islands, tsunami advisories were announced but canceled soon after as wave heights remained small. Fortunately, no injuries or significant damage were reported along the U.S. West Coast. However, the event served as a stark reminder of the region's exposure to Pacific seismic activity. Local emergency services conducted shoreline checks and reassessed infrastructure resilience. Today, most warnings have been lifted and coastal life has returned to normal. Still, authorities continue to educate the public about tsunami-ready zones and evacuation strategies. 5. Pacific Islands and South America, French Polynesia, Galapagos, Chile, Ecuador. Several remote regions across the Pacific Islands and South America, including French Polynesia, the Galapagos Islands of Ecuador, Chile, and parts of Peru, issued tsunami warnings and evacuation orders following a massive earthquake. Near Russia, in the Marquesas Islands of French Polynesia, waves reached heights of up to 2.2 meters, causing minor flooding in coastal harbors and beaches. Although the damage was limited, the sudden surge triggered panic among residents and local fishermen. In the Galapagos Islands, authorities evacuated several beach communities as a precaution. The decision was made quickly, aiming to keep people safe before any waves arrived. Meanwhile, Chile activated its national tsunami warning system, urging voluntary evacuations in several low-lying coastal towns. Both Ecuador and Peru followed suit, broadcasting emergency alerts via radio and mobile messaging systems to warn communities along the shore. Fortunately, the tsunami's actual impact was far less severe than predicted. No casualties or property damage were reported across the affected regions. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center praised the swift coordination between island nations and mainland governments. They highlighted the importance of early action, even in the face of uncertain outcomes. As of now, all tsunami alerts have been officially lifted, and daily life has returned to normal. However, authorities remain on high alert. These regions sit along some of the world's most active tectonic fault lines, and future seismic events are not a matter of if, but when. Preparedness remains key. And this event serves as a powerful reminder of how quickly nature can test our readiness.